Hello everyone, hope you're doing good and safe. In this video, we'll take you through GoSchooler modules in short and give you a good overview of what is GoSchooler about and all the details we have here. To introduce about us, GoSchooler is a fully cloud-based solution with all the modules a school need. And these modules are made after understanding school management pain points and designed to make administration at school very easy. So, firstly, a bit about dashboard. So you can see in the dashboard here, you can see the home page when you log in. This is the screen you will get when you first log in on with your demo ID and password. And it is designed to show everything that's happening in one place. So you can see all the options down here and everything administrator required. So a bit about dashboard. You can see in the top the attendance first, the number of students and attendance. You can see how many students came to school today. This is a dummy screen, so you don't have the exact data. So it's 0 out of 7 today, but usually if it is configured and if the students are coming in and if the RFID reader is catching the students' presence or if the teacher marks the attendance, the number will change here. Similarly for employees, attendance and the count of employees here. And you can also see the expenses for the month or total collection of fees. And you can also see down fee overview, how much is paid and how much is unpaid and what is the percentage, and admission inquiries here on the right side. If you see, you can scroll down here and you can also see the library overview and how many books in available status and how many are issued and how many are written, etc. Similarly, students' attendance, once again here, how many are late, how many are absent, half day, all the information here. And you can see the student ratio also. And there is a small place to quickly import some data, like pull some reports, import books, data, live classes reports, things like that. And the list of recently added students and any notices by school management and a calendar. So that's about the dashboard. So anyone who's logging in, like the administrator or the management team, they can have the overview of what's going on in one glance. So that's about the dashboard. And getting into the modules, we divided the modules into 5 sections. You can see ERP, LMS, academics, finance, reports, and settings. So let's explore ERP. So ERP, we have the section is reception desk. I'm sorry. Um, Human resources, communication, library, hostel, transport, and inventory. So in the reception, you can see admission leads. You can have the data here, the whole data of, let's let it load. So admission inquiries, basically if someone comes to your school for an inquiry, you can have this information here and save the status. So it can be active, passive, or just enrolled or any dropout or things like that. You can have the information here. And you can also follow this data, I mean, using this data in future. So that's about admission inquiry and visitor information. If someone visiting for an inquiry or maybe information for maybe complaint or anything, you can have this here. Again, sorry, for complaints, you can have a different section again. A parent's complaint could be a teacher's complaint or anything. So this can be the section for that. And call logs, if you want to register every call you receive and make, you can have this information here. Similarly for parcels and received parcels, sent parcels. Also, we have web forms for admissions. You can create your forms and send these forms to students or parents who want to take an admission. They can fill it and send it back to you, and you will have this information back in here. And second, you can see human resources. You can have your employee information and their attendance, payroll, information, everything in one place. Also, you can approve leaves. If an employee wants to take a sick leave or a casual leave or anything, they can send the request and you can approve here. You can also apply for leaves, and students can also do the staff rating. They can rate staff members based on the teaching or their attitude, things like that. You can also archive staff if someone decides to leave. You can move the employee here. And communication side, you have notice board, bulk email, bulk SMS, and email logs. Notice board is basically to send kind of a notice to everyone. For example, you can see I sent a notice here, like tomorrow is a half day. You can also publish notice by pressing this button. You can choose what you want to send and type your message. And you can choose the group of people you want to send it to. Like you can see, super admin. If you want to send only the notice to reception team or library team or the accountant, or if you want to send all to all the teachers, you can choose a group and you can publish the notice here back. And after bulk email and SMS, this is also an option for admins to send bulk emails or bulk SMS to a group of people or individuals or to any coach. Also, you can do the birthday greetings. So you have the option of sending SMS or email. That's another thing. You can have the logs of all the SMS and emails sent. This is here. And then coming to library, you can manage your books. You can create the record of every book you have. Can be expensive book or can be inexpensive book. You can have a record of it and you can manage the issue of it and return. You can have a report also in the end about what is the status of the books and who has the book, etc. You can also search books when you issue or when you written. Here is option for this to search. And also, you have option to add student membership and staff membership. This is mandatory option again. To issue a book, you must add the student or the staff, and they will have the membership ID. And using that, similarly, you can see here, for example, library card number. Using that, you can issue the books, and you can also search and track everything. You can also manage hostels, so you can have add room types, and you can add buildings, what kind of hostels, what is the location and type, everything. And you can also have the categories, all the options, and add your categories here. And you can tag these hostels to the students who are joining the hostel, so that the bill automatically applies to their monthly billing. For example, if the hostel fees for the boys hostel is 1,000 rupees per month, you can tag it to the uh, room type in the hostel master, and it will reflect automatically in their fees. And coming to transport, you have routes, vehicles, transport master, and bus tracking. When it comes to routes, you can create routes. Similarly, you can similar to the hostel, you can have the fare connected to the route and tag the route to the student, so the billing will come automatically in their school fees. That's one part. And you can manage vehicles also. You can add vehicles. When you add, you can have all kind of information like vehicle number, model, manufacturer year, insurance number, vehicle tax, and if you have toolkit, medical kits, etc., and the driver name, license number, expiry date, and all. So this data will be useful when you have to go through a certification like RTO approvals or things like that. And we also use the devices for bus tracking, which are approved by the local RTO, like Indian RTOs. We do not use any kind of devices which are not approved in India. And similarly, bus tracking, this feature lets parents to track where is the bus, and they also will have notification on their mobile when the bus is nearby. Like the bus is 1 kilometer away from their home, they will have a notification on their mobile that bus is approaching, so they can see the notification and then come out instead of waiting on the road without knowing when is the bus coming and struggling with the kid on the roads. This option helps students and parents to board the bus easily every day. Similarly, when the bus leaves school and is approaching the student's location, that there will be notification again to the parent that bus is coming, and they can come out when the bus is nearby and pick up the kid. That's a feature we added for the bus tracking. GoSchooler also provides hardware and support for all the devices for the bus tracking devices like a GPS tracker and the camera inside the bus. And you have inventory after. You can see stocks, manage items, item categories, stores, and suppliers. Basically, this way, with all these options, you can have a record of everything in your school, starting from a pen, a pencil, or any kind of a book. You can have a record of everything and have a data, full-fledged data on your inventory. So when you issue books, you can have the count, and based on the count, you can plan buying, or you can also plan the budget, things like that. So you have the option to create uh, the categories. You can add any kind of item and manage it in your store. So that's another thing. Suppliers also, you can add any suppliers you want. If you want to add have a record of any supplier, like a bookstore, can be a computer store, or can be anything. So here you can add the information and keep it here safe. Right, so this is for you, and this is for the inventory side. And going to LMS, we managed to have all the information of students, student learning, and live classes, homework, attendance, and content center and alumni. So pretty much self-explanatory. These options, you can search students, you can admit students, and admit student has all the options you need to admit a student. Every information you require can be gender, date of birth, last date, first date, category. You can create categories again, like multiple categories, like OBC or BC or general, any kind of category in India. And you can choose the hostel and also upload a photo here, which will reflect in the app or in the student database. You can also manage online admissions. So if someone enroll for the school with the form, online form which you send to them, it will reflect here. And also, you can, like I said, you can have the student categories here. You can create the categories and add them to the list. And you can archive students if somebody is leaving. You can also bulk delete students if you cancelled any kind of class completely. You can mention your archiving reasons also. And coming to live classes, in this section, teachers can schedule live class and send a notification to students. And students will get a notification on their mobile, and also they will get an SMS. And if you opted for email, you will also receive an email that there is a live class. Teachers can choose what is the class title, date, and what time is it, and the duration of the class. And the course can be any class 5 science or something like that, and the batch and the description of the class, and send it to the students. Students will be able to join the class, and teachers will have full control in the video. They can mute the students, let the students present, or teacher can present something like a PowerPoint presentation, or add a video, or write something on the notes and send it to the students. So they have almost all the options there. And they can also take the report. These live classes can be recorded and saved onto the system. We provide about 100 GB space, so you can save your recordings and download it later if you need. We will also increase the space in the future, but for now it's available like 100 GB. It's good enough to save a lot of videos there. Teachers also can allot homework and evaluate later. So teachers, when they allot homework, there will be a notification going to students that there is a homework allotted by this teacher, and you have to complete it by this day, or maybe by today or tomorrow, etc. They can upload the data, whatever homework they finish. They can upload in the form of PDFs or any kind of JPG files, and teacher can evaluate the same and give the grade to the student after that. And coming to attendance, in GoSchooler, we have two options of taking attendance. One is manual attendance, where teacher will take the attendance manually going to this section. So teacher can mark the student if he or she is present or late, or if she came to, if she's absent today. So for example, let's say I say for class 5, Rachel is present today. I'll save it here, and this data will automatically reflect onto the dashboard. So you can see one present. So this is manual attendance. We also have automatic attendance, which is through RFID readers, which you can set it up at the entrance of the school. And when the child entered the school with the RFID card tagged to the ID card, it will automatically take the attendance and update the dashboard here. So that's the second way of taking attendance. You can have the attendance overview. You can also approve leaves if there is any parent applying for leave for their child. We'll get the notification here, and the teachers can approve the leave or reject the leaves here. Content center again to upload any content. It can be PDF or video or a JPG file or any kind of material for the students. They can upload it here and give access to the students. I mean, they can choose who can access this, which class can access, and only that those people will be able to access this data. Similarly, they can plan the syllabus and study material upload here. And coming to alumni here, you can have all the data of your past students. You can search them with the year, or course, or section, or by admission number. This will be useful when somebody comes back for any kind of certificates or any kind of transfer certificates or anything. You can quickly search and give this information to them back. And also you can have events created and send a communication to the whole batch or the section of that year, which will help you to organize some events of the past students. Okay, moving on to academics. So under academics, we have sections like academics, lesson planning, examination, online exam, certificates, and ID card. More about how do you plan exactly? Like maybe you'll have three sections under class 5 and two sections under class 6. So you can have them um, added here. Like you can create classes and you can create subjects. Maybe class 5 will have subjects like English, science, Hindi, mathematics, and Sanskrit. So you can have the subjects tagged to those class, and subject groups you can create again, like mathematics A, mathematics B, things like that. And you can also have the timetable for scheduling. And also you can have teachers timetable, which will be for the teachers to schedule their classes with the students and everything. And also admins can allot class teacher for the classes, and then they can also bulk promote students. So after the academic year, you can use this option to promote students from class 5 to class 6, class 6 to class 7, etc. And under lesson planning, we have lessons, topics, lesson planning, and syllabus status. So you can create lessons, tag them to the subjects and the classes. This way, students and teachers can be organized and plan their lessons for the whole year and go according to the plan. And they can also take the syllabus status, like what's going on with this syllabus of this class. They can have the information there. And under examination, you have exam groups, marks and grades, schedule, results, admit card, and mark sheet. So groups you can create again for the classes, like exam 1 of class 5, exam 2 of class 6, things like that. And also marks and grades, you can, after the exams are done, you can set the marks and the grades according to the achievement or the marks they scored in the exam. Also schedule exams here. Students again will get a notification on their mobile app or also on email and SMS that there is an exam scheduled and you must take it before this day and this day. And they can also get the results. You can publish the results and have the students or parents have a look at it. You can also print admit card. So this is nothing like a hall ticket. If you want to print something like a hall ticket for every student who's attending an exam, you can do this here. You can also print the mark sheet after the exam is over, like if you know give a report kind of thing, like a paper mark sheet printed. You can do this here. In online exam, you can create a question bank and you can assign it to any student or maybe to a class or to tag it to the exam. You have options to write something. If you have to make any diagrams, you can do that here using the pen option. You can choose options like choose the best answer, things like that, and they can select the answer A, B, C, D, whatever, and it will automatically calculate the marks, and you can choose how many marks you should give it to this thing, and select it for the subject and the class. So you can assign it to the class here. And similarly, you can schedule online exam. So you have option to add an exam here, exam title, from which day to which day, exam duration, how many attempts can they do, and what is the passing percentage, and publish results or not using the checkbox. Describe the exam here. So you can set up the exams, and students will automatically get a notification again. So they'll have option to take the exam, upload their answer sheets, and teachers can correct it. So this is about online exams. We also have an option to have a proctor installed, where you can monitor the student when taking exam. You can see the student and his. You can also view his screen or her screen and see what's going on. What is he trying to cheat, or this is the second level of examinations. Usually we do this kind of examinations for certifications, but if you want to have that kind of level for examinations in your school, we can do that too. You can also print predefined certificates, or you can design certificates. And for every exam, if you would like to print a certificate, okay, this kid has passed class 5, so here's a certificate. If you want to do something like that, you can do that here. You can also design them. We also have some predefined certificates you can reuse. Have your school logos and print them here. Similarly, you can have print ID card here. You can also design them. Have your school logo. For example, you can set here sample, then print it here under print ID card. So when you try to print ID card, you can see almost all the information you entered. It will automatically take all the information from your admission time. Like when you admit a student, you will give all the information like blood group and age, etc. So you can generate by selecting a student, which I'm doing here right now. Okay, the screen is not shared for the window. So usually it will show a ID card photo, which you can print it and give it to the students later. So that's the option. So moving to finance. Finance, we have fee collection, fee setup, income manager, and expense manager. Fee collection, you can collect fee by cash, or you can collect through online payment mode. So you can search for the student and select the student and make the fee collection. And once it is collected, you can also print the receipt. We'll have your school logo on the top and with your details and the student details and the whole information that the cash is collected with the amount and pending amount and everything. And you can also send a demand notice to parents or to the guardian to pay certain amount of money before this time, etc., etc. You can also search payment with the search option here. You can search with the payment ID and have the information, or if you have also a search button here to search with the name, etc. If there was any payment made, you can see the data here. And coming to finance again, you can also do the fee carry forward. You can also set up fee. You can create fee heads, fee groups, and fee discounts. Fees heads again nothing but you can have tuition fee, transport fee, stationery fee. So you can have all those fee sections tagged with the amount and everything. So when you tag these items to the student, it will automatically calculate the fee they have to pay, and you will have the final amount in the end there. So that's a advantage of fee heads and fee groups. Fee groups again. It's nothing but group of things, group of items. For example, admission fee will have items like, let's look at it here. Yes, so okay, moment. So let's test this. So admission group can have the amount. For example, it can be 1,000 or it can be 2,000. Sorry, let's go back to the section to better understanding. So yeah, so admission fee is here. So you can add the amount here on how much is it for admission, 5,000, maybe 2,600 rupees for the books, or maybe 100 rupees for the form, things like that. You can add all the options and add it to the group. So when you tag admission fee directly for the student, it will automatically give all the information there. It's like 500 rupees for 5,000 rupees for admission and 100 rupees for the form, things like that. So you can manage all those heads here. And similarly, you can add discounts, fee discounts, and tag it to the student. It can be a community discount, or it can be a scholarship kind of thing. And you can have the tags here and add it there. Similarly, you have income manager to add income, search income, or create income heads, and add expenses, search expenses, and create expenses. This section is useful for administrators when they have a lot of expenses every day. It can be fuel charge for the buses, or it can be some stationary expenses. If they have to record it somewhere, this is the place they can do that. And also incomes, if they have any a collection of money for a trip or a travel or anything from the students, they can have the income add here. And in the end, they can see the stats, which will help them to understand where they're spending a lot of money and where they're saving money, and take a decision for the budget and things like that. So that's about the finance part. Coming to reports, you can see there are lots of reports here available. We made reports for almost every section. You can have any kind of report here, starting from student stats, admission report, and course and subject report, and homework report, RFID tags report, etc. Similarly, in employees, you have employee report and payroll report, transportation assignment, and hotel assignment report. Sorry, hostel assignment report. And in the finance, you also have fee statement record, balance fee, due fee, collection of fees, online payments, income report, etc. And also you have income by head and expenses by head. Also, you have library to issue books. And if you want to take a report of how many books issued and what's the due for return, you can have these reports here. And you can also have the logs of login, who logged out, and also attendance reports here. You can take it by type, by employee, or monthly, or maybe attendance by year. You can see here by date. Also, you have reports for online examinations and inventory. So that's all about reports. We can have extra reports if you think there is a feature missing. We can have that here also. And lastly, settings. This page is more about general settings. What is the institute name, your address, your phone number, and sessions allowed, and notifications. Like if you want to send student admission only through email, not SMS, you can choose that here. Similarly, exam results. If you want to send only to mobile, not SMS or email, you can choose that here too. Similarly, SMS settings and email payments also here. You can choose if you have to enable the payment, online payment, yes or no, and user roles. So admins will have powers to control the roles for teacher, accountant, or any kind of role. They can choose to give only what they need. For example, for teacher, we have given full access to student information and not fees, because this is irrelevant for teachers. And also income and expenses is not good for teachers. So you can have the option unchecked here. So whatever is checked, they can only see that, and whatever is not checked, they will not be able to see that. And we have option to view, add, edit, or delete. So you can choose if they can only view it, or can they add it, can they edit it, or can they delete it completely. So that's all about the settings in the user roles. I also have option to customize fields and system fields here. You can have roll number, or you can remove that. If you want to remove the caste option in your school, you can remove that option here. So this is all about settings here. So that's the overview and short description of all the modules here. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. You can also email or contact us, and we can help you with all your questions. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day.